I, 34M, honestly thought I had a good thing going with my wife, 32F. We've been married for 7 years, no kids yet, by choice. We were focusing on careers first, but we always talked about trying soon. We had a comfortable life, nice house in the suburbs, decent social circle, weekly date nights. Nothing fancy, but solid. That's why when stuff started feeling off a couple months ago, I couldn't put my finger on it at first. It started with little changes. My wife, Emily, suddenly got really into her appearance again, like going to the gym more often, changing up her skincare routine, dressing up even for casual grocery runs. Now don't get me wrong, she's always been beautiful, but she used to roll her eyes at all the influencer stuff. Now she was doing morning face masks and following YouTubers who say words like dewy and glass skin. Then came the hayride. She mentioned it offhand one Saturday. "Oh, I'm going to that harvest thing outside town with Liz and her coworkers. Their dentist organized it or something, weird, right?" I didn't think twice. Why would I? It sounded innocent. Corn maze, cider, hayrides, fall stuff. She came home late that night, like, really late. I was half asleep on the couch when she walked in, cheeks flushed, smelling like cinnamon and wine. I remember joking, "You run away with the scarecrow?" She just kind of laughed, but not in the usual way. Something was different. That night was the beginning of the unraveling. So after that hayride night, Emily got weird. Not overtly. Just, distracted. Cold sometimes. Overly bubbly other times, like she was trying too hard to act normal. She started guarding her phone like it was a damn state secret. No more leaving it face up on the table. Notifications stopped lighting up the screen. And she started texting in the bathroom a lot. A week later, she mentioned needing a cleaning, dental, not mental, although I had my suspicions by then. She said she was going to a new guy Liz recommended. I was like, "Wait, isn't that the dentist from the hayride?" And she just waved it off. "Yeah, but he's really good. Like, top-rated. Super gentle." I don't know why that gentle comment hit me weird. Maybe because I'd never heard her talk about dental work like it was a spa day before. Still, I told myself I was being paranoid. Until I opened her laptop. I wasn't snooping. I swear. I needed to print something and her laptop was already on. Chrome was open, she must have forgotten to close it. I clicked a tab and, boom. Emails. To Dr. Marcus Grant. They weren't graphic or anything, but they didn't need to be. Flirty. Inside jokes. Stuff like, "I'm still smiling from Saturday, you really do have a magic touch smirking face. Let's not wait till my next appointment to see each other again." I felt like the floor gave out under me. I just sat there for what felt like forever, staring at the screen, rereading her words over and over, my heart in my throat. My wife, my Emily, was flirting with some dentist like a giddy schoolgirl. The same one who organized that hayride. The same night she came home, glowing. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I didn't waste time. I waited until she sat down with her coffee, all smiles, in her robe, acting like nothing had happened, and said, "Hey, Em, want to tell me why you're emailing the dentist like he's your boyfriend?" Her face dropped. Like her soul left her body for a second. Then, and I kid you not, she laughed. Actually laughed. "You went through my emails?" "Seriously?" "No," I said. "You left them open." I clicked the tab. "And I read what you wrote." She went into full deflection mode. "It's harmless. He's just flirty. It's not serious, it's not like we're sleeping together." That, "not sleeping together," line, man. It hit different. Because why even say that unless that's where your mind is? I pressed her. Are you seeing him outside appointments? She got defensive. Why does it matter? I'm allowed to have friends. Just because I'm married doesn't mean I have to shut myself off from the world. I reminded her this wasn't just some friend. It was a guy she met at a social event, didn't mention much before, and was now emailing things like, "I'm still smiling from Saturday." Her reply? "You're being dramatic. Maybe if you paid me more attention, I wouldn't be chatting with someone who makes me feel good." Boom. There it was. The deflection turned into blame. She pivoted the whole thing to me, saying I'd been checked out lately, that she didn't feel seen, that maybe I should think about why she wanted to talk to someone else. Classic cheater handbook. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just walked out the door. I needed time to think. And more than that, I needed answers. Because something about this smelled worse than just emotional cheating. After I left the house that morning, I drove to my brother's place. I needed space, and frankly, I needed someone to stop me from spiraling. He poured me a drink and said, "You sure it's not just some harmless thing?" I showed him the emails. His face went pale. And then he said something that lit another fuse. "Didn't you say she went on that hayride with Liz and her coworkers? I thought Marcus worked solo." That's when it clicked. Emily had said she was going with Liz and Liz's coworkers. But Marcus isn't her coworker. He's a dentist. With a private practice. That story didn't add up. So I texted Liz. Just a casual, "Hey, Em had so much fun on the hayride. Was that the one you all did as a group with your office?" Liz replied fast. "What? No. I didn't go to a hayride. Emily said she went with you?" My heart felt like it was being crushed in a vice. I called her immediately and asked again, "Who exactly was on the hayride with you?" She paused for a long time. Then she said, "I don't remember. It was crowded." I laughed. I actually laughed. "You don't remember who was sitting next to you in a hay wagon for 2 hours?" That's when she blew up. Started yelling about how I was interrogating her, how I was twisting everything, and that she deserved some joy without being policed. She hung up on me. A few hours later, she texted, "I think we need a break to figure things out. This isn't healthy." That's when I realized something. She wasn't sorry. Not even a little. She wasn't trying to salvage anything. She was testing the waters to see how far she could go before I broke. And I was dangerously close to that point. After that cryptic, "Maybe we need a break," text, I didn't respond right away. I needed time. But I also needed clarity. I wasn't going to sit in limbo while my wife played games with the truth. 2 days later, she showed up at the house unexpectedly. She had that fake calm look, like she'd practiced what she was going to say in the mirror. She sat across from me at the kitchen table and opened with, "I'm not proud of some of the things I've done, but I need you to understand how lonely I've been." I stared at her in silence. She continued, "Yes, I had drinks with Marcus after the hayride. And yes, we kissed. But it didn't mean anything. It just happened. I was tipsy. I felt special for once." I asked her, "So the emails? The secret appointments? That just happened too?" She looked cornered. "Okay, fine, it was more than one kiss. But it wasn't a full-blown affair, I swear. We never slept together." I didn't believe her. But more than that, I didn't care at that point. Because the issue wasn't just what she did, it was how she handled it. The lies. The gaslighting. The constant blame shifting. She said she wanted to work through it. That she still loved me and didn't want to throw away everything we built. But here's the kicker. Later that night, I checked our shared iPad. She forgot it was still linked to her iMessages. There was a message from Marcus. I miss our nights together. That cabin was the best weekend I've had in years. Cabin. Weekend. Nights. She hadn't just kissed him. She spent a whole weekend with him. God knows when. God knows where. But definitely not alone in her regret. That was the moment the switch flipped. I was done. After reading that message from Marcus about their cabin weekend, I felt like I'd been living in a stranger's home. All the, I swear it wasn't physical, crap she fed me earlier was officially garbage. The worst part? She was laying in bed next to me when I read it, pretending to be remorseful, breathing easy, like the storm had passed. I stayed up all night. Not crying. Not yelling. Just packing her stuff. Every sweater, every purse, every pair of heels I'd ever bought her, carefully folded into the luggage she once used for our anniversary trip to Napa. The irony made me sick. Around 6 a.m., she finally stirred and saw the bags lined up by the door. She sat up and snapped, "What the hell is this?" I handed her the iPad. She scrolled. Her face drained of color. She knew what it meant. I said nothing. She started sobbing. Hysterically. But not the, "I'm sorry," kind of crying, the panicked, self-centered kind. The kind where they realize the jig is up and they're losing their safety net. She screamed, "You're overreacting. I didn't mean to fall for him. It was supposed to be fun. You don't understand what it's like being invisible in your own marriage." I finally spoke. "You were never invisible. I just never imagined you were the kind of person who'd betray their spouse and lie about it for weeks." She begged me to talk. To go to therapy. To be mature. I told her maturity would have been not sneaking off to a cabin with another man while your husband paid your dental insurance. Then I opened the door. And she left. Not before calling me a cold-hearted bastard and claiming she never felt loved. But I didn't flinch. Because for the first time in this entire mess, I felt clear. After she stormed out, I thought I'd feel better. Lighter, maybe. Instead, the silence in the house hit like a freight train. You don't realize how much someone's noise fills up your life, even if that person's been lying to your face. I told my parents first. My mom was heartbroken. My dad? Angry. He said, "I never trusted that woman. Too much drama in her eyes." Gotta love the subtle wisdom of old men. Then came the hard part, letting our mutual friends know. And guess what? That's when the surprises really started. Turns out, everyone suspected something between her and Marcus. One of our couple friends even said. I didn't want to say anything, but I saw them getting a little too close at that charity wine night. Thought it was weird she was giggling and touching his arm like that, and you weren't even there. So this wasn't just a one-time slip. People saw it. They just didn't say anything. Even Liz, her supposed best friend, told me privately that she'd warned Emily to be careful with Marcus. So all this time, I was the last to know. The clueless idiot funding their secret romance and smiling through it. I even got a DM from a hygienist who used to work at Marcus' dental practice. She said, "You're not the first husband he's done this to. He's known for chasing married women. Emily isn't his first." My stomach turned. He wasn't just a random guy. He was a predator. And my wife let herself be hunted. And then I found out something else. Emily hadn't gone to her sister's place like she claimed. She'd gone back to Marcus. Yep. You read that right. Emily didn't crash at her sister's house like she swore she would when she left. She went straight to Marcus's place. How do I know? Because her sister called me the next day asking how Emily was doing. When I said, "I thought she was with you," there was a pause, followed by, Nope. I haven't seen her since the Hayride weekend. Boom. Another lie unraveled. Later that night, I got a text from her. It read, "I'm staying somewhere safe. I need time to think. Please respect my space." Somewhere safe? What is she, in witness protection? No. She was with Marcus. A buddy of mine who works at a car rental company called me the next morning. "Dude. I just saw Emily at Marcus's condo. She was in yoga pants, barefoot, holding a mug like she owned the place. So now she was playing house with her affair partner like she hadn't just blown up our marriage." I wanted to be furious, but honestly, I felt numb. Like my heart had hit its pain limit and my body just shut down the anger valve. But then came the kicker. I found out they weren't just talking things through. Emily had introduced him to her parents. Let me repeat that. Less than a week after I kicked her out for cheating, she was introducing Marcus the Molars to her mom and dad like he was a serious boyfriend. This was the same woman who told me she needed time and space to reflect. Apparently, reflection looks a lot like brunch and bed sharing now. But I kept quiet. I didn't message her. I didn't confront her. Because I had something else in the works. About 10 days after she left, I got a knock at the door. It was Emily. Hair tied up. No makeup. Wearing that oversized hoodie she used to steal from me whenever she was hungover or sick. For a second, I felt like I was staring at the woman I married, not the one who destroyed us. She looked tired. Like Marcus's magic ran out faster than she expected. She asked if she could come in. I let her, not because I wanted her back, but because I wanted to hear what twisted version of reality she'd cooked up this time. She started with tears. It was a mistake. I don't even know who I am anymore. I thought Marcus understood me, but he doesn't, not really. Then came the classic. I miss you. I miss us. I asked her why she moved in with him instead of staying with her sister. Her answer? He said he'd protect me from the judgment. What judgment, Emily? The judgment of being caught sleeping with the man who pokes people's gums for a living? I didn't yell. I didn't even raise my voice. I handed her a folder. Inside was a drafted divorce agreement and a list of everything I wanted to separate cleanly: the house, accounts, car titles. Everything. She stared at it like I'd handed her a gun. I thought we could work through this. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "You didn't want to work through this. You wanted to escape the consequences. This is them." She broke down again. And I walked her to the door. As she left, she whispered, "You'll regret this. But you know what? I already regretted staying as long as I did." The divorce was finalized 2 months after she showed up at my door begging to come back. To her surprise, and probably horror, I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I didn't even argue about the stuff, the furniture, the car, or the wedding photos she weirdly asked to keep. I just signed the papers and moved on. And that's when something unexpected happened. I started to heal. Not all at once. Some days I still woke up furious, other days numb. But bit by bit, I felt like I was getting pieces of myself back. And they were cleaner than before, not soaked in self-doubt and gaslighting. She tried contacting me a few more times. Once to check in. Another time to tell me she and Marcus were over and that he was a mistake. And the last one, the kicker, was to say she missed our laughs. I blocked her after that. Because the truth is, she didn't just cheat on me with some dentist during a fall hayride. She betrayed our trust, mocked the love we built, and then tried to rewrite the story like she was the one who got hurt. But I've learned something crucial from this whole mess. Police car light people show you who they are, believe them the first time. If you feel something's off, dig. If someone twists the truth once, they'll do it again. And no amount of history, photos, or shared Spotify playlists is worth living in constant doubt. I'm not bitter. I'm actually thankful. Because now, I know what love is not supposed to feel like. To anyone reading this who thinks something's off in their marriage, don't ignore your gut. Don't dismiss your sanity. You're not crazy. You're probably right. And sometimes the best closure is the door slamming shut behind them.